Okay, so excuse me. Melinda Gates did an interview. Bill Gates, he's all over the Jeffrey Epstein files. There was an email that came out between it might have been between Jeffrey Epstein and Bill, but basically Bill was asking Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, he was asking Jeffrey Epstein, hey, I was with these Russian hookers or something. I need to get some medication for STDs, and I need to figure out the way to give it to Melinda, his ex-wife, without her knowing. This is just a piece of what Melinda Gates said. Let's check it out.
I have to acknowledge the elephant in the room at this moment. Your ex husband, Bill, is named in the newest tranche of Epstein files. And
Yep.
there are a new alleged details about his past behavior. And I want to give you the opportunity to respond in whatever way you want to.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? Um, no girl, no girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages, those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So, for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because um, brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So, whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
And I am so happy to be away from all the muck
yeah,
that was there.
I have to put more words to the muck for context for our listeners. The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false. It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I, I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad, just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? Um, and again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And
Listen to that. She's not putting none of the blame on Bill Gates. I'm sure that she can say a lot more than what she's actually saying right now. She's not blaming him. She's not bashing him. She's not. But more than likely, she knows that Bill Gates is just. Let me not say she knows. I don't know what that woman knows. This is just my opinion. From everything that's coming out and the response of what his ex-wife had to say about it, Bill Gates is probably one of them creeps. He probably one of them creeps. Very rich, very powerful. Um, Whenever you hear the stuff that's coming out, it's not that far fetched, in my opinion. I think that he probably has some dealings going on with Jeffrey Epstein's that was unbecoming of an adult man. He was probably he probably abused a lot of those women. He's probably an abuser, just my opinion. He's probably an abuser just like Jeffrey Epstein. He probably is.
And so for me, it's
Oh, oh, and like I said, I think that because it just sounds like this woman's just done with it. She don't want to be a part of nothing that individual, her ex-husband Bill Gates, got going on. She not bashing him. She not trying to tear him down. She's just done. Push it to the side. I can't answer those questions. Those individuals have to answer those questions. He was probably cheating, all type of shit, and she probably just got fed up with it. Another thing is, a lot of people say that whenever you're with an individual who makes that kind of money, he was considered the richest man in the world at one point in time. They say, well, it's to be expected that he's gonna have other women. Well, what did he present to that woman? What did he present to Melinda Gates? Did he present that this was going to be a monogamous marriage? If he did, then I mean,
just sadness for, I've left. I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in DC.
I want to see if this video is longer. Melinda Gates. So, okay, so that's actually, when did this come out? This is 15 hours ago. This is just a clip. Let's go ahead and go back. Melinda Gates interview. Let's watch somebody else's reaction. I mean, why not? We might as well. This is what Melinda Gates got to say about her ex-husband. Come on, what's that? Bill Gates. Mr. Bill. Let's watch this fella's reaction. We just watched everything. I kind of want to hear
It's nothing but good.
somebody else's
Rest in
opinion on
peace,
it.
chicken fingers. One love. Let's go.
Of course, with
Step aboard the world's most luxurious.
he probably is. I think by the time this is all done, the 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 rooster's gonna come home to crow. I mean, like I just don't see. Uh, and another thing, how are they protecting a dead pedophile? Like the people in Congress, like in the senators. That's why it goes all the way to the top, man. Like these senators, these congressmen and women, they're probably pedophiles themselves, or maybe should I say PDF files, or their friends and their donors are. Because I mean, like, there's a, I ain't gonna say that. Let's watch his reaction. I do think a lot of them senators, congressmen, it wasn't just Jeffrey Epstein abusing them kids. No, I think it was a blackmail ring where Jeffrey Epstein was running some type of sex cult, abusing underage children to blackmail some of the most powerfulest men inside the whole entire world.
Tranche of Epstein.
Come out about the Epstein files. And some of the stuff that has come out has included Bill Gates. It's pretty clear we have elites that are getting away with stuff that is, quite frankly, disgusting. And it does appear as if our DOJ and a lot of our leaders are turning a blind eye to what is going on.
They are.
It's something that I believe should be investigated, every aspect of these files and what was going on. When you read some of these emails, some of these allegations, does that mean every allegation is true? Does that mean everything that was said in these files is all of a sudden a smoking gun? Absolutely not. but I think there's enough in here in these files, enough that we've seen so far. And so far, only about, I think, half of the files have been released. I think it's about 3 million files of the 6 million. And there's plenty there to not just make someone raise their eyebrows, but to make someone say, what the F is going on in the upper society of the world, and because this is not just in the United States, this is like all over the world.
Prince
And a
Andrews,
lot of this is revolved around one
they took
person,
away his titles.
Jeffrey
You
Epstein, who
know
seemed
he
to
a
have
freak.
unprecedented access to.
They took away Prince Andrew's titles. You know this dude is a straight freak. Google. I'm on Academics Instagram. Uh, titles removed. As of late 2025, King Charles III formally stripped Prince Andrews of his remaining royal titles, including his Royal Highness, the Duke of York, and his status as a prince following renowned scrutiny over his links to Jeffrey Epstein, known now as Andrew Mount Mountbatten. Look at that, Winston. He was also removed from his home at Royal Lodge and stripped of all military knightly honors. This dude is a freak. You know he is. Here we go.
Governments, to the White House, to billionaires, to the richest people. And one of these people that he had access to was Bill Gates. And Melinda Gates has just come out and she is talking about some of the stuff that she went through with Bill Gates. We're going to get to the video here in a second. But Melinda French Gates says latest allegations about Bill Gates' antics with Epstein dredge up very painful memories. And let's flip over to this view here. Melinda French Gates said the new details of her ex-husband Bill Gates' alleged antics with Jeffrey Epstein dredge up very painful times from their 27-year marriage and have left her, quote, happy to be away from all the muck that was out there. So if you want an idea of some of the stuff that was released in these Epstein files about Bill Gates, this is one of the things. This, I believe, from what I have seen, from my research, I believe this was a draft that was saved in Jeffrey Epstein's email. And it looked like it was something that was going to be used as some sort of blackmail if, say, I mean, I'm speculating here, this is all alleged, if, say, Bill Gates were to step out of line and do something that himself or his handlers did not like. And I want you to listen to this. This was a draft in Jeffrey Epstein's email. It says this: I have decided to resign my position effective immediately with BG3 and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I have not come to this decision quickly or without a great deal of thought. During the past few weeks, I have been caught up in a severe marital dispute between Melinda and Bill. I have the greatest respect for my friend of 7 years and wish them both well in my role as his right hand. I have asked and wrongly acquiesced into participating in things that have ranged from morally inappropriate to the ethically unsound and have been repeatedly asked to do things that get near and potentially over the line into the illegal. Though it was kindly suggested that I make a transition to a new position after my 6 years of servitude, and that Bill would, in his words, give me 2 years severance pay, I feel it would be dishonest to myself and my future from helping Bill to get drugs in order to deal with consequences of sex with Russian girls, to facilitating his illicit trysts with married women, to being asked to provide Adderall for bridge tournaments, as I am a medical doctor but have no prescription writing ability. So this was, from what I understand, this was a draft in Jeffrey Epstein's email. And now, the strangeness keeps on coming out because after some of this stuff bubbled to the surface about Jeffrey Epstein, now Melinda Gates, she went on this podcast. It appears to be an NPR podcast where she actually calls out Bill Gates for some of his behavior, alleged behavior, in the recently dropped Epstein files. And this was put out by Colin Rugg. But the new Epstein files drop claimed Bill Gates wanted to secretly give Melinda STD meds after he allegedly got an STD from Russian girls. But I want you to take a listen to this. This is what Melinda Gates had to say over the situation. And just remember, she remains pretty vague, but I don't know, guys. It's some pretty weird stuff. I think she knows a little bit more than she's letting on, but take a
Yeah, facts. We already listened to it, so maybe I'll just skip ahead to, his response. She definitely knows more than what she's letting on. It's real vague, but come on, you can catch the drift. You can see through it. Not to say you can see through something bad that she's doing, but
Dear A.
maybe it's still for her children. I mean, like she still does have children with the man. You know what I mean? So maybe it's to protect her children.
me as if she does know more than what she's letting on, but at the same time, she's the ex spouse of a billionaire. So can she really even say anything without getting into legal trouble? I don't know. I feel like this probably has something to do with the reason why she's being careful with what she is saying. But
Possibly.
I believe this woman has seen some things that have
Oh
really
yeah,
disturbed her. I mean, you can kind of tell by how she's talking, but she is really kind of beating around the bush. She's kind of dancing around it. And by the way, sorry, I mean, there's looks like there's a mistimed audio with the lips moving. So that was, I guess, this is on this video that I played, not on my end. But it does appear as if, yeah, I don't know, guys. It's really hard to say because these things are right now being left up to podcasters and internet sleuths to sift through and figure out what happened. It's very clear that there is a lot of BS in these Epstein files, but it's very clear that there are plenty of allegations and stuff that was written back and forth between powerful people to warrant lots of investigations. And I do find it very odd that, as of yet, this could change. I find it very odd that we have kind of a DOJ who hasn't really decided to touch it very much or even comment very much about it. Todd Blanche has said some things, but those things have.
or at the very least, start arresting people, unless maybe they say that Jeffrey Epstein was a part of intelligence. Are some of these individuals still being blackmailed? Hang on, I'm gonna just throw one out there. I think Lindsey Graham being blackmailed. Yeah, I think that dude's being blackmailed. I think he's been being blackmailed for a long time. Just listen to the stuff that he talks about. He is on board with everything that has to do with conflict in the world. Russia, Ukraine, Iran, the United States, Israel, Gaza. Oh yeah. Yep.
Have been largely, it does seem to be a little bit dismissive over um, some of the stuff that have been read in the Epstein files. He has kind of indicated that there has not been any wrongdoing that has been viewed in these files. And while I'm not saying there has, I think that there's plenty to suggest that some very strange and potentially illegal things happened. And it definitely warrants enough to maybe even start an investigation into some of these people. And, that's what makes it hard because then you got to question yourself, well, why is there not enough interest in these files to warrant an investigation? And the really one thing that I come back to is
The
because
people are
some of the
powerful.
people involved in these Epstein files are some of the richest and most powerful people on earth.
Yep.
And that is really the only conclusion I can come to as to why this thing is being handled so carefully and it appears very dismissively. But I don't know. That's just kind of my initial like.
Yeah, you can tell Miss Melinda French Gates. She has definitely seen some things. She has seen some things that has probably really disturbed her. I'm not saying maybe seen like Bill in the action, knees deep getting it on, but she's probably maybe she's read some things. Maybe she's read some emails herself. Maybe she's seen different things that she maybe had to forgive, turn a blind eye to. Who knows? She's probably seen quite a bit though. You guys get inside the commercial below. Let me think about this. So why hasn't more people been arrested involved with Epstein? One thing for sure, two things for certain. He was not the only one abusing those children. Why hasn't the Department of Justice done more? Inside the comment below, let me think about this, and do not forget to hit that like button.